Hi, I'm Tom. This is Lucy, and this is Kitty Help Desk. So, I wanted to discuss today a little bit about how you can tell if your feline friends are feeling stress or anxiety. Cats really aren't the best communicators in the world because they've evolved to not really need to do lots of communication between one another. They mainly communicate using scent and body language, body postures, facial postures, but they don't do complex facial expressions in the way some animals do. In fact, they don't have the complex musculature in their faces to make a lot of facial expressions because they've never really needed to communicate with other cats what their emotions are beyond sort of broad strokes of this tail being up says that Lucy is happy and things like that. So it can be sometimes difficult to sort of decipher what your cat might be feeling because they do have a vested interest in hiding some of that information because an animal in the wild that is in pain really, doesn't benefit by displaying that, oh, I'm hurt over here, because a predator is going to pick up on that really quickly, and the animal is probably going to end up being somebody's lunch. So we have to be a little bit diligent to be able to tell what's going on with our cat. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about stress and anxiety and how that manifests. And that really, for a cat, is going to show up in several different ways. One is, right now, Lucy is a little stressed with me because she came up here and she expected to get some TREATS. And I haven't really given her any yet, so she's a little bit stressed that I'm sitting here and I'm talking to the camera, but I'm not giving her anything. So hang on. Everybody gets paid, right? There you go. It's important to know when your cat's behaviors change. If your cat is suddenly less responsive or hiding more than usual, that's a sign that something's going on that maybe your cat needs to see the vet. I have, however, seen vets miss signs of behavioral anxiety and pain as well. So that's not always a given that they're going to sort that out, but at least you've got a second opinion and you can really use that to gauge whether you need to pursue it any further. For me, really, I think the earliest warning signs of stress and anxiety are sort of signs of discomfort more than anything else. I equate them to sort of if you or I were sitting on a bench and a person who we didn't know and maybe seemed a little odd or whatever came and sat a little too close to us on the bench in a public place, then we might suddenly, kind of rearrange on the bench and we might cough and we might do a lot of things that are sort of involuntary sort of signs of discomfort. And those are the things that we need to look out for in our cats. Those are the early warning signs. So those warning signs are lip licking, which is when a cat, not when a cat's eating or grooming, but a cat is just sort of sitting there. Maybe you approach and they suddenly lick their lips. Then that's a sign that your approach has stressed them in some way. Did you see this? That back ripple, that's a little bit of a sign of stress. When a cat suddenly grooms their belly, they're just sitting there minding their own business and they suddenly start grooming their belly. That's generally a sign of stress, as can be stretching. Now, I don't mean like stretching, out of pleasure, but if a cat is walking along and suddenly stretches a leg or something, there's something going on that is kind of stressing them out. Maybe they're walking and they stretch their back legs out all of a sudden, then that's a sign of stress. And those are all things that you need to consider as you're, evaluating your pet and what their mental state is. And you sort of have to keep mental track of that, of like, how often are you seeing that behavior? And if it's a lot, then you might want to take some measures to sort of de-stress your cat and de-stress the household, and just chill and lower, your desire to control your pet and give them more autonomy and more choices, more agency in their lives. And that's really going to make them feel better and less stressed. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention briefly is pain, because pain is another thing that cats are very good at hiding. And it can be very easy to overlook pain. In fact, I had a friend contact me about her parents' cat was going outside the litter box and they couldn't figure it out. And after some discussion back and forth, found out that I really felt like the cat was experiencing some arthritic pain or some kind of joint pain. And after a couple of trips back to the vet, they found out that indeed that was the case, that the cat's joint pain, what they had done is they had put the cat's litter box all the way down at the bottom of a flight of stairs in the basement. This is a senior cat. And the cat had to go down this flight of stairs all the way down to the basement. And by the time she got to the litter box, she was in considerable pain from the journey down the stairs. And she just could not get into the litter box. So she went just outside the litter box. And that's a pretty good sign. When a cat is wanting to display that they're going outside the litter box for reasons of territoriality, they're not going to continuously just go right next to the litter box. This cat was going right next to the litter box every time, and she just couldn't make it over the edge of the litter box and inside. So after the vet put her on some medication for her arthritic pain, they also moved the litter box upstairs where it was more convenient, and these incidents didn't happen again. But it's very easy to overlook that. Even her vet had overlooked it. And so one great way of dealing with that, if you think your pet might be experiencing pain, there's a really great app, and it's called the Feline Grimace Scale. Do you like that? Yeah, that works really well, doesn't it? And it's free on Android and iPhone devices. And this app has a series of choices. So it's got a button that says Score Now, and you score your cat in real time, and you show things like ear position and face position and different postures. But by going through this series of tests, it gives your cat a pain score based on things that you're observing in real time here and now. And I think that's incredibly helpful. It's free. It's a great service to use. So that's something that's really important to do if you feel like your cat may be experiencing some sort of pain. And then the other thing that obviously that you want to do is you want to visit your vet. Because the end goal of all of this is for your cat to live a long and happy and healthy life, right? So these are all tools that we use to get to that end goal. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.